What's up, Henderson Luby? Say with your legs, say it with your legs media. We got to start things off with the young man that is Chris Harper, won stage 20. Basically, they had to do an 18-kilometer climb, 42 kilometers from the finish to uh, end the stage on the mountaintop finish on Sestria. Really popular climb, well-known climb used in the Tour de France as well, and as well as I think once or twice in the Tour of Spain. Really popular climb. Um, Today was a lot. I'm going to sort of keep it short, keep it brief, because the video is uploaded. So if you want to see what happened in detail, then you can go. The video should, by the time this live is finished, it should be ready to check out. But anyway, Chris Harper, this young man from J. Cole Lula, yesterday he was in the break and he was on the climb and he was looking like, okay, he was going to go for the stage win, but he cramped up on the second to last climb and then just faded. And that basically was the end of his hopes yesterday for stage 19. But today he would get himself in the breakaway again. And this time he was able to manage a whole lot better. Yesterday was a lot hotter. Today was not as hot. And he was able to just basically manage the day a whole lot better. No cramping. Rode him to the finish. So he won the. So basically, first there's a prize for the highest climb during the Giro d'Italia. So that was on the finish today, and he was the first one on top of that, so he got that prize. But then he was probably thinking he'll probably get that prize, but he was thinking because he heard that Simon Yates is coming, and he was thinking that probably he would get caught, but then he would get the prize of winning the stage as well as winning the prize. So yeah, the Jaco Lula went away, some happy campers, and it was a big look. So we had to start off with talking about that. Well done to Jaco Lula and Chris Harper winning stage 20. That was an amazing win. So basically, if you notice, I'm in all white. So when you put on all white, it means you've surrendered. You're throwing in the towel. I surrender. So, and basically, that's what happened today. That's what we got to look at today. This guy here, Simon Yates. Simon Yates pulled off the coup of the century. 7 years ago, in this exact same climb, Chris Froome handed him his ass. Basically, put 34 minutes in him, and it was looking like he was going to win the Giro d'Italia back then. And basically, a young Simon Yates, like a young Del Toro, lost the Giro, sorry, on the finish there, on the way to the Sestria. But this 7 years later, he's been able to get the demon off of his back. And today, Simon Yates was able to go ahead and not just put time on Isaac Del Toro and Richard Carapaz, but put enough time to take the pink jersey. And that was like the big moment of the day. So here's a moment of him at the finish line. He was just like this. He just couldn't believe what just happened. He was able to ride away. He rode away on the climb. He went over the climb with 2 minutes on Del Toro and Richard Carapaz. But then when he got into the valley, he had a nuclear weapon waiting for him. What was that nuclear weapon? That nuclear weapon was Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert basically got on the front. So that meant Simon Yates didn't have to do any work pedaling into the wind. And when he got on that wheel of Wout van Aert, that was all she wrote. Simon Yates ended up putting almost 4 minutes in both Richard Carapaz and Isaac Del Toro. Now, let's get to the. Do I have? Yeah. So Simon Yates, he's the new GC leader. How did this happen? How on earth did this happen? Now, it happened because these two young men decided they were going to go to war against one another. So what happened was basically Richard Carapaz's team just destroyed everybody going into the beginning of the climb. Just destroyed everybody. For what reason? It just seemed like senseless to just put so much energy just to, because basically once he did that, he got rid of Richard Carapaz. Isolated, not he isolated himself. He isolated Del Toro, and he isolated Simon Yates. Now Simon Yates was already down to one man before they even got into the main part. Now if EF would have rode a bit more sensibly, they could have carried like a few men, but they would have brought some of the UAE riders with them as well that would have been able to help Del Toro. So in a sense, it was good because Del Toro didn't have anybody to help him, but then Richard Carapaz didn't have anybody to help him. And at the same time, because Jumbo Visma got somebody into the break. And basically, UAE had been doing that for the last few days, but they didn't put anybody up there in the break today. So if they would have had somebody over the top of that climb, they would have been able to bring back Del Toro and save the jersey. But they had nobody at the top of that climb. And Yates was the only rider with someone at the top of that climb. And when he got there, boy, it was lights out. It was lights out. But the big thing, these two, why am I showing these two? It's because when Yates went away and Richard Carapaz, he was able to close the gap. Del Toro refused to help. Del Toro refused to help bridge the gap and close the gap to um, to Simon Yates. So basically, he basically just sat on Carapaz the whole climb. When they got to the top of the climb, Del Toro turns around to Carapaz and says, "Carapaz, come on, let's chase back. Let's work together." But Carapaz turns around and says, "You didn't want to help me when we was 20 seconds back, so I'm not going to help you." Now, Carapaz is the senior rider. You would think that he would be a lot smarter than that to be that petty to say like, I'm not going to help you because you didn't help me over the climb. Now, essentially, going over a climb, everybody has to. There is no hiding on the climb. You either can climb or you can't. So regardless of whether he went to the front or set tempo or tried to chase back, he still has to put in the same effort. So just it's sort of like it's a negative, like talking about helping or whatever, the setting tempo. It's just a mental thing. So basically, you win nothing or lose nothing if Richard Carapaz sits on the front or Del Toro sits on the front, or whoever sets tempo. It doesn't matter. Once you get over the top of the climb and then you get on the flat and the downhill, now it makes a massive difference. Now Del Toro says, okay, we're over the top of the climb. You didn't drop me. You did your best. I'm here. Let's get on with it. And the crazy thing is, Del Toro is beyond his years in maturity. And the fact that Richard Carapaz wanted to throw all of his toys out of the playpen because Del Toro didn't help him an earlier part of the climb, but when they got to where it mattered, because when they got to the top, they were less than 2 minutes behind Simon Yates. So with the two of them would have worked together, they still could have saved their Giro d'Italia. They still could have still saved the Giro d'Italia. But I'm gonna put this one on Carapaz. After what Del Toro said in his interview, I wonder if it will let me. No, it won't let me bring it up. I was wondering if I can play the if I hit that. Um, no. So no, that just gets my camera away. So no, that didn't do anything. Highlight save to your channel. So I'm just hitting stuff and realizing what stuff does, because I'm trying to see if I can um I want to bring you the audio from Del Toro. I'm I wish I had another device that could independently play uh, the thing. Oh man, let's see. That's microphone checker 1 2 1 2. That's comments. Uh, so we're back. So I can't do that. Oh man, I can't do that. I should have done that earlier, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll clip it up and I'll probably just put like like little snippets of Del Toro's little interview and stuff and what he said about Richie Carapaz, which is crazy. And yeah, that was a mad day. But anyway, check the video up. The video is saying 11 minutes. That's crazy. It should be. By the time this finishes, the video will be ready to play. So go hit the link for the video. Check out the video so you can see where EF Education, when EF Education basically attacked at the bottom of a finesse there. I after seeing what happened, I just thought that was pretty dumb because like I said, you got rid of yes, you isolated Del Toro, but you isolated yourself. And then you put yourself up against Simon Yates, who you were basically no match for. So had you not isolated everybody, if you had kept UAE together and you had kept your guys, at least two or three of your guys, you guys would have had some. And your guys weren't climbers. I can't believe it was like 2 kilometers or something, and they were gone. They all attacked hard in that first thing, and they were gone. It was just like, psh, it was crazy. Like the amount of effort that EF put in to get rid of everybody. Personally, I just thought that was a dumb move. And then hearing what Carapaz said when he said no to Del Toro to, okay, okay, now we're at the top of the climb, let's work. That was like two bonehead moves. So I've always felt sort of a little way about Carapaz. He's a bit of a firecracker, bit over the top explosive. And yeah, today he got it wrong. He got it all types of wrong. The crazy thing is he's 32, 30 something years old. Like his days of winning the Giro and are fading quickly. Del Toro's just coming in. Del Toro is probably going to be he's probably going to move up. He's probably going to replace Micah as lieutenant for Pogacar for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then once Pogacar starts to hand over the reins, Del Toro is going to be unstoppable. Del Toro's good. I think, and I also think that Ayuso is going to come back a little stronger than next year and probably be the one to ride for the win for the Giro d'Italia, while Del Toro goes through that apprenticeship phase of like working for Ayuso and working for Pogacar. That's what I think over the next couple of years. And then when they unleash Del Toro, if he's doing this now, as a potential like number one lieutenant, it's over for the rest of the peloton. He's basically going to do the same thing that Pogacar was doing, and it's just gonna go from Pogacar, and the throne is going to stay inside of UAE Emirates, as the team like Visma Lisa bike is second fiddle. And we're going to talk about the Tour de France and Jonas Vingegaard and all that stuff, but we'll see Jonas inside of the Dauphiné in a few weeks, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to say a lot. It's going to say a lot. Who am I put my money on for the Dauphiné? You say, oh, it's hard. I'm putting on Tadej Pogacar because of all of that. Because of the race, he has race legs. And I have no idea what they're doing. Whatever test they're doing, but test and training, it's no comparison. Race test and all that training is not race day preparation. It's yeah. So that's my only thing. I can't see it. It's going to be the same as last year when everybody was like saying like what's going on is how is he going to compete? And that was my question. And even Abunaha knows, like, how the hell does a man compete at the highest level when he hasn't been competing? Make it make sense. So, and he's doing the same thing again this year. So I doubt he'll win the Dauphiné. If he wins the Dauphiné, that will be a massive shock. And no, he's not going to be able to outsmart Tade. Not in nowhere, no way, no how. Because Tade's got a team around him that's just basically UAE, basically the boss of bosses right now. So yeah, you need more Wout van Aerts. You got Wout van Aert and is Matteo Jorgensen. That's crazy. So if Matteo Jorgensen has basically been on par with Jonas Vingegaard, and if Jonas Vingegaard is not taking care or handling Matteo Jorgensen, that's going to be a hard one. So anyway, video is up. Go check the video. So if you want to see like actual highlights, video is up now, and you can actually go and see that right now on my channel. And initially we say Richard Lakes Media, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow after stage 21 as we see this young man here roll into, was it to Simon Yates, as we see Simon Yates roll into Rome in the pink jersey. I wanted Toro to win so bad. Man, that was hard to watch today. But it is what it is. Man, it was so emotional at the finish. Well done to him, and I'm so looking forward to Rome tomorrow. So it should be a good one. Like I said, in this Louis say Which Likes Media, I appreciate you. I hope you hit the like button. I hope you subscribed. And we will see you in the next one.